thought it would be a good experience. Yeah. And then also, we have Dan Klein, and most of you guys probably have seen him walking around campus or met him. He's here a lot more than I am, to say the least. So he's going to share with you kind of a sales presentation and how that correlates to Altria.
Cool. So what's between you and departure?
For the most part, that's okay.
I mean, that's a soft
We're here
yes.
to see you,
That's a soft
We're here
yes.
to see you.
So we're going to talk about sales tonight. Well, before we get going, there's 3 things we need to do. Number 1, we need to talk about poor judgment of your father. We're getting bare. Because
actually, he's done this before.
In sales, we call that a behavior. If you do something over and over and you can predict the future based off past performances. So we're not surprised that he got a beard. That's awesome, though.
And I got taken away by the St. Louis. They have it now.
Oh, really? See, he's giving back to the community.
Right, yeah.
What a guy. Okay, so that's our first one. Awesome. Our second one is Patricia. Is there a Patricia in the house?
It's her birthday.
It's her 21st birthday. So happy 21st. That's creepy, right? It's big tobacco. We're everywhere. I'm afraid. Okay, and number 3, case competition participants.
Yep.
Look at this in the house. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. We had a really awesome time during the case competition. I know I had a good time. I think Craig did too.
Yeah.
Even though I misspelled his name. Do you guys ever get grief if you misspell his name? Okay.
We don't misspell it.
We don't misspell it. Oh, that burned deep. Okay, so hey, listen. What I'm going to do today is 2 things. Number 1 is introduce all the different types of sales jobs that are out there. Give you a little bit of insights into kind of what the pay is for all those different types of jobs, and then talk to you about some opportunities with Altria. And my goal is to get you out of here right away, but also give you a couple nuggets of information so that when you walk out of here, you're a little smarter than you are right now. Deal? Deal. Cool. All right. So let's get going. And I'm going to insult your intelligence by reading you these because a sales organization should probably know them, but just so we can all get on the same page. Sales is the exchange of goods or services for an amount of money or its equivalent. But see, this is the interesting part. Selling is to persuade or influence to a course of action or to the acceptance of something. It's that selling word, it's that influence that's so key. And there's so many different ways that you can do it. And I'll submit to you right now that the way we do it is the best. So hopefully by the end of this you guys agree that the way we do it is a pretty good idea. So influencing is a lot easier when you have strategy. And so sales strategy is really about implementing this idea to influence somebody else by motivating them, by supporting the sales force, by training, tons of different things. It's all about sales management. So what you're hearing right now is a bunch of really lofty deals. But what I'm going to do is walk you through how these things apply to all of you. We had a case competition last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, and it was amazing to see the different varieties and how people influenced. And it was amazing to see the different types of data that was used to help make the audience buy in. But what you don't see during that, what's the best way to put this? What you don't see, and when someone sits down and walks you through their case competition, is all the work that it took to get them there. And that's the strategy. Right, Raj? That didn't make a lick of sense, did it? What in the hell is this guy talking about? Right? There's so many different ways that a salesman can come into a room. And what I just tried to demonstrate to you is just how awful it can go if you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Think about that. Can you imagine if someone just walked in to a sales call trying to influence someone and just did that bullshit? That was awful. Right? It's so important to know what you're talking about. It's so important to have the facts to back up what it is you're talking about. And it doesn't matter which way you are selling, or which medium, if you will. So think about this. You've got direct sales. You've got door-to-door. This cold calling thing. Has anyone cold called before? What's that like?
Terrible.
Why?
People are mean.
People are mean? I'm mean. Don't ever come sell me Girl Scout cookies. No, why is it so uncomfortable?
You're going to someone's house where they live and they answer the door with no clothes on and it's
Anyone else? No.
You become an intrusion rather than.
You become an intrusion. Right. So when you stop intruding.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, oh, anyone.
Okay. Anyone. J school.
Right. So a cold call stops being uncomfortable when you start providing a solution, right? So you knock on the door and someone's just like, leave me the heck alone. I don't even have my clothes on. Apparently this happens. I don't know. I don't. But anyway, the bottom line is, if you're not selling a solution, then no matter what you're doing, you're never going to get past the uncomfortable part, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. So no matter what type of sales you're doing, you have to be able to influence your audience and sharing with, you have to be able to influence your audience to feel that what you're delivering solves their problem. Does that make sense? No matter which way you're doing. Telemarketing, another cold calling, nobody wants to telemarket though, right? That's not really even sales if you ask me. But at the end of the day, the last one is the best, and that's consultative. What we do at Altria is consultative-based selling. We have an existing group of customers that we call on monthly, and it's meeting with these customers to help them identify the most profitable ways to grow their business. It's going into those stores with a solution. We know what we're going to sell them, but they don't know what they don't know how we're going to do it. And it starts with discussing what that situation is. Have you guys ever heard of DARF? So when you go in and you have that solution, you don't start with the solution, you start with the situation. So you discuss what the situation is. What's the problem that you're going to fix with the product that you're selling? So you start with the discussion, D. And then you come to a mutual agreement. So by highlighting this is the major opportunity that we've got, here's how I think we can fix it. You agree on a solution with that person that you're talking to. But it doesn't end there, because if you agree on a solution and you walk out that door, they're never going to follow up. And so the most key part is the R. D-A-R. We're DARFing right now. R is reinforcing the benefits of your solution. So you've told them what your solution is. You've told them how you're going to help them grow their business. And now you're reinforcing why the decision that they've made is the best decision. Have you guys ever heard of this? Discuss, agree, reinforce. And then the last part is the most important, and it's finalizing. So when you finalize that action plan, it's, Craig, this is what you're going to do. I know what I'm going to do. When we leave this room, we both know when, how, and what we're going to do. And if you walk in knowing what the solution is, you discuss that situation, agree on what the fix is, reinforce why it's going to work, and finalize that action plan, you will have DARFed your customer. Might be as simple as getting a bear. I don't know. But anyway, all of these different influencing tactics, whether it's the solution selling model, whether you're calling someone, whether you're telemarketing, all of that stuff really comes down to how do you communicate with others in the world. And what George Smith says is that sales is the one profession, no matter how you do it, whether you're knocking on doors, whether you're flying to accounts, whether you're on the golf course, whether you're in HR and you have a better way of doing something and you need to sell your boss, whatever it is, sales is the one profession that makes the world go round. Without sales, nothing would happen in any industry ever. And that's why we are here talking to you guys, because you've got an interest in this, and so do we. Cool? Cool. So when you think about all those different types of sales that we just discussed, the sales representatives, that consultative-based selling, is one of the highest paid entry-level areas. Real estate brokers can certainly make or break it, but one of the things with that is that it is a lot more commission-based. But then if you think about transitioning into that first-line supervisor position, you can make even more bank. And then sales managers, the sky's the limit, right? Up to $120,000, maybe by the time you're 30, maybe by the time you're 27. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. It's good that you guys are in a sales organization because it'll pay off fast after you guys graduate. It's challenging, it's collaborative, it's a career that delivers quite a lot of compensation. And so with that kind of brief background on sales, the most important part is Darth. But what I want to do is just quickly go through Altria and then tell you about two opportunities that I have. Have any of you guys been in any of the presentations that heard about Altria in the last couple of weeks? Couple? Okay, and then I had did any of you stop by the career fair? Yeah, okay, great. So, needless to say, I just want to give you a quick background. Altria is a giant company that has quite a few different manufacturers or subsidiaries that we own. So Philip Morris, United States Smokeless Tobacco, John Middleton, St. Michel Wine Estates. We've got a new innovative company called Newmark. But all of these manufacturers in some way connect with tobacco. So that's the sales organization represents all of these different. So Roger, Stacy, myself, Lauren, and are all representatives from Altria Group Distribution Company. And our job is to dart customers across the country representing these brands. And those brands are right here: Marlboro, Skoal, Copenhagen, and Black & Mild. So it's our job as we walk into convenience stores, break time headquarters right down the corner, down the street at Stadium. And our job is to simply influence these customers to help them grow their business when it comes to Marlboro, Skoal, Copenhagen, and Black & Mild. You guys ever heard of those brands? Ever seen them in the stores? Where is it? Behind the counter. What else do you find?
Eye level.
Eye level, sure, absolutely.
You need a glass case or something?
Excuse me?
Like glass case?
Yeah, sometimes it's behind a glass case, you're right. Yeah. Can anyone picture where Marlboro is on the rack?
That's not.
The middle.
At the best spot, and in the middle, both of which. It's those types of characteristics. Where Copenhagen and Skoal are in the store, it's on the top shelf. And the reason why it's there is because I had to walk into break time and Petromart, Mobile on the Run if you're from the St. Louis market, and influence those key vice presidents and presidents of these organizations and say, hey, let me share with you why it makes sense to put Marlboro on top. Here's how this is going to benefit your bottom line and how it's going to satisfy your customers. So those are some pretty intense sales conversations that have resulted in where our product is placed and how much it costs and all of that. Any questions on that? I darfed him. He bought a bear too. So we have two positions that we're hiring for right now. The first one is a territory sales manager job. It's for seniors who are graduating in May or December, if you're interested. The way that this full-time position is written is you are a sales consultant, that last individual that I discussed. And what you do is solution sell store managers and owners in a territory of about 100 to 107 accounts. And so you visit about 5 or 6 accounts each day. You call on each of your accounts once a month. And what I'll tell you is that this job isn't easy. It's real challenge from the first day. Lauren does it right now down in Oklahoma. But I know we're short on time, so what I'll say is that at the end of this presentation, I've got my email address and my cell phone number. So if anyone is interested in our full-time territory sales manager position, I would be happy to entertain you on a little bit more of those details. But we're also hiring for a summer sales internship, and that internship pays about $19 an hour. And what we do is give you some real responsibilities. Number one, we teach you how to DARF, we teach you how to sell, and how to analyze the problem so that you can come to the #1 solution. We walk through about 10 weeks of training. The neat part about this is that it's not just an internship, it's the start of your career. And what you're looking at on the board right here is a couple individuals who started within our organization in the internship program. So I could show you 2011 and 2012 graduates who have already climbed up into the unit manager role, but it's kind of interesting to see, hey, where am I going to be 5, 6, 7 years down the road? These are 2 University of Missouri graduates. Jessica Hendrickson actually was just my boss. She just moved on and is, some of you might have met her over last year. But anyway, she's moved back into the headquarter building, but she's been a student ambassador. She's been a territory sales manager, an intern, a manager in training, a unit manager, an associate retail promotions, like basically running all the programs for the sales organization. She's moved on to district manager and even further is now a manager in the building in charge of some crazy important stuff. And so all that started as an internship within our organization. And then on the right, on your right, yeah, we've got Adam Salor, who has a similar career path. And he's writing all the sales training. That's how we trained Lauren just this past summer. So all started with internships. Pretty crazy stuff, huh? So anyway, our internship is 10 weeks long. It's paid, and it offers you an opportunity to demonstrate how you can communicate, how you can identify the root cause of a problem, and put a plan together to solve it. It's pretty.
It's cool stuff.
It's DARFing. Yeah. When you guys leave tonight, you're going to DARF each other. It's gonna be fun. In addition to some pretty awesome training and some pretty great experiences, the compensation package is spectacular. You get a full Chevy Traverse on the day that you start as a full-time employee. The pay is, email me if you're interested, but at the end of the day, it's a great company, a great experience, and I think what you'll see with the 3 people that are sitting over here is that every day you get to do some pretty cool experiences with some pretty great people. So what I ask is that if anyone is interested in the sales internship or the territory sales manager position, you write down my phone number, you write down my email address, you shoot me a text right now. Even if my phone started shaking, that would give me some positive feedback. But nevertheless, we are approaching kind of the deadline. October 1st is when we're making our selections on who we're going to do the interviews, who will be interviewing. So just be aware of that. And with that, I'll let you ask any questions that you might have. Or
I'm going to say one quick thing. I know that Craig said that you guys had a bunch of new members in the room today. I will just let you know that you should get involved as soon as possible. I would say my first year in PSC, I was director of new member training for a semester, and it started helping me from day one. It helped me with my planning skills, sharing with others, and getting to know people and starting relationships from day one. So starting now is the best thing you can do, and it will only help you in the end. So, yep.
cool. Yes.